What is this? Working on the Civic today. On a hot summer day. What? Yeah, I don't got a tent, but it's not the hottest day ever, but I'm bored and I don't got nothing to do, so I have a bunch of parts from Rock Auto that I'm gonna go ahead and install. I already did the other side yesterday. I didn't record it because it's pretty much mirrored, you know. Once you do this side, you pretty much know how to do this side, so I kind of wanted to do one side beforehand so that I know how to install the side I'm gonna record. But here are the part numbers on everything that I got. This is CENTRIC brakes. These are actually really good. This is for the front. This is a compliance bushing. It's the part number. The rotor. This is the control arm, and this is the axle. All this from Rock Auto. Cheap stuff, man. Cheap stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and tackle this side. So the whole reason I'm changing out the control arm is because I feel like it's bent a little bit because the wheel is actually moved in this way a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can see the axle, how it's sitting. I don't know if that's normal or if that's abnormal. If anyone knows, let me know. But I'm just gonna clean it up. I'm just gonna go ahead and degrease everything. I'm gonna change everything. I got all new hardware over there, so I don't like working on dirty cars, so I'm just gonna, this is Purple Power from Walmart. It's $6 a gallon. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray everything just so that when I start working on it, everything's clean. I don't like touching dirty stuff. This looks like it's been replaced actually, because the one on the other side was really, really nasty. I may be wrong. Yeah, just scored everything. I want this clean as possible. This stuff is cheap, so just go crazy with it. It's $6 at Walmart, the whole gallon. Don't be afraid to use it. We're just gonna let it sit here for a good minute, and then we're gonna come back to it and just start cleaning stuff up with a wire brush, because we're gonna touch up the caliper and make it look nice. Gonna go ahead and start removing the caliper. It is really easy actually. You have one lonely 14mm bolt. Yeah, so one 14mm bolt, and then it should be able to slide out, and then we have two 17s in the back. 17 and another one down there. You go ahead and remove those. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. I don't really like doing stuff with one hand, but we're gonna try. So, got my impact right here. This is the DeWalt DCF883. Let's see if it's strong enough to take off that caliper bolt. Jeez. Let's see. Let me set you guys down. Hello. Let's see. Oh, it's not a 14. Okay. So then it's a 12. Actually. Alright, it's a 12. There it goes. Get that out of the way. And then this should be able to. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. And then this should slide out. Awesome. Set that aside. Oh. That is really gunked up. We're gonna need to for sure hit that with the degreaser. I'll do it right now. Let me just do this. These pads are actually not that bad. Check that out. They're still really good, but the ones on that side, those were actually not the greatest, but you know what? It's fine. I already have new hardware for this, so I'm not too concerned. Whatever. I just want to have that peace of mind that I know that this thing has new hardware, but I'm just taking off the, what do they call these, the shims? Come on, I can't get this last one off. No. Oh. There it goes. So now we're gonna hit these with the 17, I believe. Cool, 17. So let's get this 17. Oh, is my gun gonna even have enough clearance for this? No, my gun doesn't have enough clearance for this. Damn it. Jeez, that is hard. That's what she said. Oh my god. Why is this so hard? Alright, cool. Now we can get this. Look at that, so quick. Oops. Cool. Got our 17s out. Gonna go ahead and wash this, clean it up, make it prep it up for paint, because we're gonna end up painting this actually. It's all good. I'm gonna actually grease this up too, so, or degrease this, so. Purple Power to the rescue. And then this right here too. It's really dirty. Don't be afraid, people. Spray it. Just don't say it and spray it. One of my co-workers at Honda gave me this snap-on 3-inch Phillips, or number 3 Phillips, and now I'm able to get these screws out on the rotor. Thank you, Spencer, really appreciate it. It's gonna be a little bit sad that I'm not gonna work next to him no more, but it is what it is. Rotor's out. I'm gonna degrease this a little bit too. I'm gonna let it sit there. So I already have the caliper painted. I have the bracket in the backyard. I ended up using this high heat since the brake calipers do get hot when you're braking, obviously. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the control arm. You have this 17mm right here, and then you have the one that holds your fork for your strut right here. It's a 17. There's a nut on the other side right here. I already broke that free. And then we have 3 19mm right here. 1, 2, 3 for your compliance bushing. Go ahead and break those free. And then we have the castle nut down here. Gonna break all those free, and then the control arm should drop down, and then we're gonna remove the axle. I already took off the nut. It is a 32mm 6-point. Probably gonna be different for yours, but it varies depending on what axle you have. I don't know which one I have, but it's probably not even OEM. Let's go ahead and break those free then. To remove the compliance bushing, you have to take off this nut. I believe it's a 19mm. Where are my sockets at? It's probably still attached to this. No, that's a 32, so. There it goes. Control arm is out. Here's the old hardware. That's the new hardware. You can't tell in the pictures, but this is bent. This part right here is like this, while the good one is like that. So with this being bent as it is, that's why my wheel was more this way on my wheel well. So my wheel, instead of sitting like in the middle, it was sitting this way a little bit, and that's why I had less space here than over here, if that makes sense. So that's the whole reason why I'm changing them out. And I actually did not know this, but this is for the front sway bar. The other side, they didn't even have this one. So I'm kind of glad I got the other side replaced. And this one, obviously, that's damaged and bent, is getting replaced as well. You can clearly see it just from here. This is as straight as it can be. Look at that. It's like kind of straight, but this one, you can clearly see it's angled out this way. And we got a new axle right here. They look the same. I don't know why, but it looks like my teeth right here at the end look like they're kind of grinded down a bit. So my axle did pop out one time. Hopefully that doesn't make an issue that big, I guess. I don't know. But we're gonna put everything back together. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Got my new compliance bushing, new brake rotor and pads and hardware. So as for the suspension, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet for that. Currently I have right now KYBs with sport line springs. I did some Google research and I believe these are e-box. They're just relabeled as sport line or whatever it is. And don't mind all this, people. When I do the struts or coilovers, whenever I get them, I'm gonna touch up all this with what do they call it? I forgot what it's called, Linex or something similar to that. We'll see. What are you doing here? So I'm gonna do Linex or just truck bed coating and just cover all this, make it look good. But for right now, I'm just installing the hardware so I could get the car drivable, so I could go get it barred. I'm just trying to go get it barred and just get it registered and insured, because I don't want to get this towed because it's a Honda. It's gonna stick out like a sore thumb to cops. So let's go ahead and install the axle. All right, just throw this in there. Hopefully that's good. Looks like it. Does it come out easily? No. I hope it stays in there. What else? I think with that we should be able to put the
exhaust note fulfills my dried up soul, just like what Whatever feeling comes to me, I will always have a place to be.
Gonna go get two 10 millimeters and I believe two 12 millimeters to attach the brake line. Hopefully in the future I do upgrade these to steel line, because the one on the other side, I guess previous owner, or I don't know if it was probably me when I went to go test drive it, but it rubbed a little bit on the brake line and it's kind of exposed, but it's not leaking, but I'd rather not risk it. So maybe in the future I'll upgrade them to steel brake lines, but she's all better. Let's throw on the wheel and see what happens. I hope that's how it's routed. Two 10s and two 12s with the brake line going like this. Hopefully, it seems like it's out of the way, so it's all good. Yeah, looks a billion times better, man. So we got this one torqued. We got the one for the strut torqued. And then we got the castle nut down here torqued. We got this torqued, and we got the 3 for the compliance bushing torqued, and then the 19 for the compliance bushing itself. We torqued them down when we used the jack to raise it up to give it load, because if you tighten them when it doesn't have load and then when you bring it down, the bushings are gonna rip because they're gonna flex a lot. So we're gonna double check, make sure that that was the issue. Let's see how many fingers I could fit. I could fit 3 fingers. 3 fingers easily. Yeah, 3 fingers. So let's go to the other side and check that out. 3 fingers. So it did fix the issue. We did have a bent control arm. Awesome. That is awesome. Cool.